Hey everybody, it's Mark from Haunted Auckland and Paranormal New Zealand. Welcome to episode 9 of Outside the Box. And with today's episode, we're going to be talking with Dan and Pete from over the ditch in Australia, and they run Nightwatchers Paranormal. Are you there, guys?
Perfect. By the way, thanks for having us on, mate. This is absolutely awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just really enjoying this whole lockdown period, actually, because I couldn't go out and do any investigations. I've had to think of other ways of being creative and productive. So
Exactly.
I'm having a go at these little Zoom chats, and I'm having a blast, actually. I'm really enjoying it, talking to people from all around the world and networking, which is what it should be about, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's about sort of sharing
Awesome.
ideas and keeping in touch. I think it's very important.
Yeah, this virus has definitely killed a lot of us, you know. Like, I'm really starting to miss our investigations, eh, Dan?
Yeah, big time, definitely. Yeah.
I know. And if you do try and sneak out to do one, you get caught, don't you?
Oh, yeah, you got to be really careful.
Everybody's
Yeah,
watching
it's
you.
not worth the time.
No, but it's we're all sort of hanging out to get out there. We've got quite a few investigations lined up, but we just can't do anything about it. It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
It's
It
really
is very frustrating.
yeah.
We do a podcast with Zinc FM, Yoko there, and he wanted us to come in and do a investigation in the radio station. And it was just right before the virus kicked in, and the upper management said, "Sorry guys, no go. We're going to have to put it on hold until further notice." So, and that was one Dan and I were both really looking forward to doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the frustrating thing for me is that the locations I've been speaking to are really keen to have us in there for an investigation, which is great. That's now, but in a few months' time, they may change their mind. You know, things change and people's ideas change.
Yeah.
They may change their mind, and we might lose those investigations, which would be a disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to lose them. Yeah. We've got a few lined up too. We've got some really good ones lined up where, you know, we just had the approval to go ahead, and it's next thing you know, boom, lockdown. It's like, oh, great, now we've got to wait. How long do you have to wait? That's the thing. This could be months, it could be weeks.
I know.
Could go
It could
into
be next year. Who
know.
knows?
Yeah, you don't know, yeah. So what do? You just got to wait it out and
Yeah.
wait till we're right to go.
Mm.
So,
Oh, well,
yeah.
on to more happier subjects. I've been checking out your videos. I'm really enjoying your series. I see season 2. Season 2 that you're doing really well. And one thing that stood out to me about the whole Nightwatchers thing is you're not coming across as paranormal rock stars. You're not trying too hard, which is what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Usually I get sent lots of links all the time for people's shows, and especially internet shows, and they say, "Oh, check us out," and you click on, and the first 5 minutes is them talking about themselves, and they're all sort of hyped up on some sort of, I don't know, speed or something. I don't know, because they're all just like trying to be just
Yeah.
full on hyperactive. I don't know whether it's an ADD thing. I don't know, but if somebody opens up their documentary with, "Hi guys, welcome to our show," you know, and all that kind of thing, and it's all just put you over the top, I usually just switch off after 5 minutes because it's just too put on. It's just, I don't know. I
Well,
feel like it's real.
Yeah, well, that's what we do with our show. We've watched that many of them, you know, from different people, big YouTube shows down to the small ones, you know. And one thing I've noticed is you get, like you said, you got those ones that are really hyperactive, and then you got those ones that we've seen where really I'd rather watch grass grow, where they're like, "Hi, and today we're going to do this." It's like, oh my god, you know.
I've seen them.
But so we're finding that medium level, you know, that line, you know.
Yeah.
So we sort of come in, we're happy, we try to be bright faces, so it's like, "Hi, how you going? Welcome to this," you know. But we don't want to be over the top, you know, and we try and get into it as quick as possible because, let's face it, people aren't really there to see us. They're there to see the investigation and see what we can get, you know, what we can capture. So we go in, we try to use some established establishing shots to show people where we are, if the location and time of day allows us to. And then we just tell them where we are, and boom, just go straight into it. You know?
Yeah.
I think too, it's about being real. You know,
Exactly.
when you go on an investigation, people want to see what evidence you can catch, you know? And the thing I find that, and Dan will definitely agree with me here, is that when we go into an investigation, everything is legitimate. There's no faking anything. And I think that's the most important thing, that as investigators, you go in there, you find if there's something there. If it's not there, we're still going to post the video because people need to know that, you know? And I think that's one of the most important things, is to be real.
And honest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important.
Yeah.
Whether you capture anything or not, you know, it's people like to come along for the journey, and that's what these videos and live feeds are for. People like to come along and join in with you, and whether anything happens or not. I think too many groups out there are too busy concentrating on looking for something. They want something to happen so that they can spice up their video, you know, for their followers.
Yeah. It's all about being real. We've got to keep it real. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I like about you guys. It's like you're just straight up honest and genuine, and I can tell that you're just going along with it and learning as you go. And I can see that. I can see it straight away. I mean, there's one episode in the cemetery. You did one in the cemetery with some other group, and they introduced a gadget. I think it was an Ovilus or something like that. And it was something that you guys hadn't used before.
No.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of teams out there would have gone, oh, yep, you used that before. Yep, that's, you know, and they would have instantly become an expert on it. But you guys, I haven't seen that before. Okay, let's have a go, you know, and you were quite genuine about it. You know,
exactly.
And if something comes up that you see with your eyes that you are not sure about, you'll say, hey, don't know what that is. What was that? You know, I'm not sure what that is.
Exactly right. We never claim to be professional. You know, we always go in and say, you know, this is us. You'll notice too, because I do the editing of the videos. One thing you'll notice too is when I'm putting the titles up, or you know, or what you think the EVP says, 9 times out of 10, I'll put little question marks at the end, and that sort of emphasises, like, do you think it's saying this? Like, you know, we never say, hey, it's definitely saying this. We always say, we think it's saying this. Yeah, there are a couple of times where we've gone, oh yeah, man, we definitely reckon it's this, but you know, we always still put that thing out to people. Hey, if you think different, let us know in the comments. So we're not professionals. We're just guys that go out, do this because we love doing it, and we're learning as we go. And we always try and tell our followers and our subscribers and people that watch our stuff. Yeah. But yeah, we're still learning. We you know, we're open for everybody to get involved and to, if they see anything or hear anything, let us know, because there's so many people that have picked things up that we didn't get, and we're like, wow, thank you very much for letting us know that, you know.
We've had
definitely think you've got to have a passion for it. Like, have that passion for it, you know. Like both Dan and I love what we do. For me to go out, and I know the same for Dan, when we go out and do an investigation, it's a pure rush for me. It's something that, like, I want to know what the truth is. What truth is there, you know? Like, it's for me personally, it's about finding that truth, you know? That is the most important thing. And I know for Dan, doing this with my best friend, you know, who I've known over 20 years, love to death, do anything for him. But doing it with him, it just makes it all the more special, you know, when we do find that bit of evidence. And when we do discover it together, it's something that we've done as best mates, you know. That to me is just outweighs everything that we ever do, you know.
Well, that's how this channel started. It was a bonding thing. We, you know, Pete and I never really hung out much because we're both dads, you know, and you know, I thought, well, we need to do something where we can, you know, grow together, you know, get our friendship back on track and do something together. So it started with the YouTube channel Kickback with Kaz, and we started doing all the funny videos and all that sort of stuff and the challenges. And then the passion of this sort of, you know, I brought it up to Pete, and he said, yeah, let's do it for sure. So we went out and we've done our first episode, which was the Goodness Cemetery one. And we found we loved it. So we thought, all right, so we started pushing this a lot more, and it sort of seems to be overtaking the funny stuff, you know, the other videos, which we're still trying to keep alive, but this is what's really starting to go, you know.
Yeah, you can still inject a bit of humour into what you do, though. I think, humour in this field is very important, especially right now.
Yeah,
I think it's quite needed. So I think any humour you can inject into this serious investigation, you know, I think do it. You know, why not?
Yeah.
Pete, one important question I've been wanting to ask you, actually. You shaved off your beard.
I've been getting so many questions about that. I've had that beard growing for, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And, well, 3 years, yep.
Cool, I don't know.
It was a big passion for me, but one night I jumped into bed and it was like you wash and shampoo and condition the beard constantly. And this one night, I think I got about half an hour's sleep where it was just constantly itching, and I ran my fingers through the beard and knotted, and it pulled my face down. I nearly fell out of my bed. And I'm like, that's it, no more. It's got to go.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that have turned around and said, hey, wow, you look like 10, 20 years younger.
Yeah.
And until I went back and had a look at previous photos of me with my beard, and especially our videos,
Yeah.
they're right. You know, I look a lot younger without the beard. So that was the reason why the beard went. My son, it was funny. My son comes out and goes, Dad, I don't like you. I'm like, oh, thanks, son. Why? He goes, I want the beard back. So, yeah.
You get used to it. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, you've covered quite a few locations all around Australia. Have you been out of Australia or just kept it to your main region?
No,
Oh, Danny.
kept it to our, basically, we've just kept it to our area, our state, really. We haven't even been out of our state yet. We've only been sticking to Queensland because we're only small and we're still growing. You know, we wanted to try and capture every area that we could locally and sort of go outwards, you know what I mean? So that way we can say we started at home and made our way out rather than start out and make our way in, you know. Anything else you want to elaborate on that, Pete?
Yeah, I think it was definitely for where we come from on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland. There's a lot of history here, especially with the gold rush era and the pubs that were here. Plus, there's a couple of hospitals, like the old Pomona Majestic Theatre. You know, they've really got history. And doing our research online and speaking to people that are involved with this place, it was important for us to get in there and find out the truth behind those places. Like, especially the Majestic Theatre. Dan will totally agree with me. This is the only silent movie theatre left in Australia. And this place is immaculately beautiful. Like, the history in it, it's just amazing. And the paranormal side of it, it's just phenomenal. Like, the stuff we caught there. So we both felt that it was very important that we get that history out, especially to the people here local to us, so they understand what we do, see what we do, and know that there is that history there. And we have extended out slightly. We've gone down to Brisbane, south of Brisbane, out to Gameri and places like that. But we both felt that it was very important for us to get that local stuff out of the way first, because it's where we both grew up, you know. It's a very important place to us, so it was important for us to get that out there.
Yeah. I was just saying, if you've got so many locations around you, why would you go outside of that? If there's enough to concentrate there and there,
yeah,
why not?
Exactly. Well, it's enough venues and establishments and locations to get us going with our series, you know. And like you said, why move further out if you don't have to yet? You know, do the ones, you know, get established first, get used to it. And, you know, like I said, Pete and I are learning this from scratch. So, you know, everything we know is from the ground up. You know, we didn't come into this claiming to be professionals or acting like we're professionals. You know, we have people contacting us all the time saying, hey, what do you think this is? And we're like, well, you know, we only give the opinion we can give, you know. We always, and we do have other people that we do send people to that are more experienced, is the word, than what we are. And, you know, we'll always send people in a direction where we think they can be helped more than us, you know, than us. You know?
Okay, and you guys, you're not mediums or anything like that? You're just straight gadget guys?
Pete?
Well, for me personally, the one thing I've found doing this, you start to develop things like gut feelings. I'm one that really goes off gut. Like, I'm not a medium at all. Have no idea, not at all. But I find that with going to certain locations, and the more that we do this, even Dan has started to develop emotions. Like, when you walk into a location, you get that feeling, like that intuition and gut feeling. And I've noticed with me that it's starting more to affect me. I don't know why. I don't understand why. But for me personally, it feels like I'm starting to grow within this industry, like starting to learn more about myself as a person. And I've noticed with Dan and a few of our videos, if you go through, some places have affected Dan emotionally. And I think the more that you do this, the more that you'll become in tune with yourself, getting certain gut feelings, and your intuition starts to prick up, you know, like especially going into locations that you feel unsteady about, uncertain about. And then you get that feeling, it's like, oh, hang on, I got to step back for a minute. What's going on here? You know, and Dan can say the same, you know. When we first started this, when we first heard our first EVP, it was like, whoa, that's awesome. But now it's more like, okay, let's see if we can take this a little further. And then you get feelings and emotions. It's a brand new experience, you know. I don't know, for me, it's just different. I don't know if you feel the same there, Dan.
We are actually going to be starting to take out a couple of psychics and mediums with us and stuff. Like, that's something that we haven't really dabbled with much. You know, there are the girls from Haunted Down Under, Hayley. She, you know, that's really the only experience I've had with on a location with a psychic or medium, and she was really, really good. But we are going to start doubling with that more and getting some to come with us and see what they can pick up on. And with that sort of thing, we're going to try and do the whole thing of, you know, because Pete does all the research on locations. So he'll research an area or a location we're going to go and do, but we won't tell the medium or the psychic that comes with us, and see what they come up with, see what they pick up, and see if it's, you know, the same thing of what the actual history is at the location, you know. So, yeah.
Okay. And you probably get asked this a lot. What's your most awesome experience you've had so far out in the field?
Ooh, there's been a few.
Yeah.
What about you, Pete? You go first, man.
For me, there's actually been a couple. One of the best experiences for me was the Sunnybray Private Hospital. That place was absolutely amazing. Like, we got intelligent response within 10 seconds of asking a question on an EVP. It was amazing. Dan asked the question where he turned around and said, "Is there any spirits here? Can you please tell us your name?" And straight away, yes, it's Shelley, came through the EVP. It still gives me goosebumps. That was absolutely amazing. To get such intelligent response off a question so quickly was phenomenal. Like, it blows my mind. Also on that video, we got knocking. Dan was taking some still shots towards the end of the night up in the main part of the building where the wards would have been. Now, with that, he was taking, we're in the pitch black, and we had our PR manager with us, Em. She does a lot of our, Emmy, she does a lot of our emails and stuff like that. But she was with us filming that night, and Dan was looking into a room, taking a photo of it. I was behind him with the GoPro, and Em was off to my right near the front door. Now, this front door was on a balcony. There was no way to get to that front door without me seeing that person run past the window. So it's a floor up. So on the GoPro, you couldn't hear it, but luckily for us, we'd set up a static cam right beside, looking back to us next to the front door. So you hear knock, knock. I've turned around, freaked out, and I'm like, "Em, was that you?" And she's like, "No." And just, you can see in the video, she's bolted past me, freaked out. I've gone, "No, I've got to see this." So I've bolted straight to the door, opened the door. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? There was no one on the balcony. I've walked out onto the balcony around the corner where the stairs are. There was no one in sight, and they couldn't have got to those stairs without me catching them. So
they were clear knocks too. Very clear knocks.
I heard them. I watched it last night, actually. That's the one I watched last night. Yeah.
So for me personally, Sunnybray is my favourite video. Really? I love that place. It's amazing.
So you've just been just the once, have you? Just the once?
Yes, we've been once, but we definitely want to go back there. They've got a committee that looks after the place because it's heritage protected. And David The caretaker there is a lovely man, and he's allowed us to go there. Anytime we want to go back, we just have to contact him, and he'll run it through them for us. But beautiful location, and it's well kept. You know, it's a beautiful location.
Yeah, I'd have to say, probably for me would be the Majestic Silent Movie Theatre. That would be definitely one of them, only because of the activity that we did catch, and also because it was one of our first videos. You know, it was you know, a good memory, a good experience. You know, there was, you know, the footsteps of someone actually walking behind on the actual stage. You know, you could hear the woodcloth boots walking on the stage. There's that. Also, I'd have to say probably Peachester Cemetery, because of the feeling that you get there, and just Pete's face shows it. But yeah, you know, the serious EVPs that we capture there. Like every time, we've been there twice, and we took RJ Cox Paranormal with us there on the second time round, and they even captured the feeling. And that was where we got the dual K2 meters going off separate together at the same time. And just the when we first went there, that what was it? The Power of Satan EVP. Oh, that gave us chills to our spine. You know?
I can tell you something. Dan will agree with this. When that Power of Satan comes through on that EVP, it sounded like a deep growl.
Yeah.
It was really hard to make out until he edited it. And holy, because I remember he goes, "Oh, Pete, you got to get over here now." And I literally live 5 minutes from there. So I've gone, "Yeah, no dramas, mate." So I've jumped in the car, gone over there. He's in the middle of the editing. His face was white. I'm like, okay, something's going on here. So I sat down. He goes, here are the earmuffs. Listen, put them on. I tell you, I freaked out. I'm like, what the hell was that? Because it came through so clear, didn't it, mate?
Yeah, exactly. At the time, all it sounded like was a growl. But when you listen back, you go, how did we not hear that on the night? How did we not hear it? It was that clear. I mean, you can see it in the video. There was no editing done to that. The only thing I would have done to it is maybe taken a bit of static out of it so it was a bit more clearer. But other than that, that was it, you know, and adjusted the volume so it's louder. But it was clear as a bell. The Power of Satan. It's like, you're kidding. And then we've actually done a little bit of research, and there have been rituals being done there. And we even caught the what do you call it? The chanting. The chanting and the stuff there, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
okay. And that's Majestic.
No, that's
Peachester.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay, yeah.
Peachester, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
cool. Oh, I'm keen to go now, actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm planning to
Well, we'll take you. Good.
Oh, yeah.
definitely. You come over, mate. You can come with us. We'll take you.
I haven't been to Australia for a few years now. I used to go to all the Paracons over there, and I haven't been for a few years. And I've got a lot of friends over there, and I really want to just get over there. And it's only a few hours flight, so it's missing it.
Yeah.
You're welcome, mate.
Oh, I'll be calling you up for sure. I like to squeeze in as many locations as I can while I'm over there. I think I use my time wisely. I don't muck around and just relax.
That's
Get out there and investigate. You know.
100%, mate.
Yeah, got to do it. Okay, we're talking about equipment and all that. What would you say is your favourite piece of equipment that you use that's maybe given you the most evidence, or one that you prefer to use in every investigation?
Probably I have to say the white noise generator that we capture our EVPs through.
Yeah.
But other than the EVPs, I would say the K2 straight up, the K2 meter, the EMF detector. We get so much response on it, and it's always where there's no electricity around. Like there's, you know, an open field. Like once again, it was at the hospital. What's it called? The Sunny Bray Private Hospital. We did there, and it was out in the field, and there's no electricity around, and this thing was just going off berserk, and it was responding to our questions. When we asked it to do something, it'd do it. You know, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Pete?
For me, it's the thermal cam. Absolutely love that thermal cam. The stuff that we've caught with that thermal cam, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like we went out to Yandina Cemetery, and the two photos that we put in that Dan put in that video was, you can see a figure clear as a bell, and in the photo beside it of the exact same spot, that figure's not there. So for me personally, that thermal cam has been money well spent. it's one of the most, it's just awesome because it gives you the temperature reading as well. Yeah. It's amazing. For me, that's, it's got to be the thermal cam.
And of course, if you're picking up an image of a person and that person is blue, then it's not alive. Yeah, so
exactly, it shouldn't be blue.
But you have a look at that video. That was Yandina video. It is a blue image on that Yandina video, and that's what amazed us because we like taking our subscribers with us because it helps validate what we do is real. So we got one of our subscribers to move into the actual images so we could see them plus this figure, and there is a total difference in the heat signature of both bodies, you know. So for us, that was absolutely amazing that we caught that blue figure, but you can see one of our subscribers come into the actual picture and you can see the reds and the oranges and the yellows.
What about that one when we went with RJ Cox the first time, and at the cemetery up their way, and that you were looking through the thermal, and that thing was following me. It was following so Jeannie and I through when we were walking. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was amazing, that one, because we were standing there and I had the thermal cam, and this was the first time we actually got to use the thermal cam, and I'm pointing it there, and Dan and Jenny were there doing their thing, and while we were filming, and I'm looking through this thermal cam plus with the GoPro, I'm like, hang on a second, this is not right. So I've pointed at them and I've called over Bobby, Jenny's partner, and I said to him, mate, does this look right to you? Does that look like a figure behind them? And it was. He's like, holy dooly, that's amazing. You know, that looks like a figure to me, and it did to me as well. It was a blob. So yeah, that was amazing.
And it was moving, it moved back and forth.
Following you. It was following them.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so keeping on the track of gadgets, what would you say? I mean, I asked this to everybody out there actually, because I'm just curious to gauge people's opinions. What would you say is the most overrated piece of paranormal equipment out there on the market today that everyone's using? Most overrated and pointless, in your opinion?
Ooh, overrated. What do you reckon, Pete? I don't know.
For me, and I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for this, but for me, I think it is the Ovilus.
Yeah.
The reason being, it just generates so many words. Thank you, Mark. Awesome. But for me, it just generates too many words, and I'm thinking, is this the system itself, or is it a spirit? Where the other devices you do use, like spirit boxes and K2 meters, there's a legitimate reason for them going off. Where the Ovilus, to me, it just doesn't seem right. That's my opinion.
Well, it's a random word generator, isn't it? It's random, so
exactly.
That's what it's made for. Yeah. Okay. What would you say is the hardest part of being a paranormal investigator?
For me, I would say the everybody out there that does this thinks they are top dog, number one. They think they know it all. There's so much backstabbing. There's so much negativity. I think the hardest thing about being one is, to be honest, is actually the community itself. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a lot of people out there. There are a lot of great people out there, but we're involved with over 30 different groups on Facebook. And one thing that I see as following these groups is the amount of, that's why we created our Facebook group, where there's no bullying, no judging. You know, I mean, yes, look, people can put something up and then other people can have their opinion, but it's just the bullying side of it. You know, there's so much bullying in this community that it just drives me up the wall, you know, sometimes. Because I do all our Facebook stuff, and I find a lot of it is on Facebook, you know. It's just a lot of negativity, so I try and keep out of it. I try and steer clear of it. I don't comment on things because I don't want to. It's one of those things. You say one thing, you could lose the other half of the followers. You say another thing, you could lose the other half of the followers. So the best thing is just to keep your mouth shut. You know, that's how I see it. But yeah, what about you, Pete?
I think for me is one of the hardest things I've seen with, especially in this paranormal field, is that because we're all still learning and trying to understand why things happen, is that you'll get a lot of people there in the social media forums that turn around and say, and will bag people for believing in orbs or believing in certain parts of the paranormal and not in others. For me personally, I think it's very important that if you're going to do this, that you believe in, like, give an understanding to the whole umbrella of paranormal. You know, you can't believe one thing and not believe another. You've got to give it all a go, because I've seen people out there that they'll, especially in groups, you know, it's really hard, is that if you get someone that asks a question that has no idea about an orb, for example, you don't know what that person has gone through. Maybe they've lost a loved one recently and they're wondering if that orb is their loved one trying to contact them. So you've got to be a little gentle in answering that person, you know. You can't go in there and say, oh, mate, you're full of it, go away. You know, you can't do that, because you don't know what other people have experienced in this field. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are so negative and so judgmental of other people's opinions, feelings within this industry, that I think it's wrong. You know, for me, I'm going to give everyone, and I know this is the same for Dan, we're going to give everyone the opportunity. Like new upcomers in this, like we've been doing this for over a year now, but we get people wanting to do this, ask us questions. And I'm only too willing, and I know Dan's the same, is to help them as much as I can, because there's people in the field that have helped me. So why not give back to people starting that want to try this for themselves? And I think that's so important.
That's why we made that video, that how to be a ghost hunter. Like, we thought, well, if you want to get into this, you just, these are the basics that you're going to need, and also not just the physical items that they need, but it's also this. You know, what they need to be able to get in their head to be able to do the job, you know? And, you know, the safety side of it and the legal side of it, you know, trespassing, all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of videos out there that people can watch to learn how to do this sort of stuff. But those people will go straight into the gear and follow us around and check this out, this is how you use it. That's all cool. Watch those videos to learn how to use the gear. But our video shows you the basics of what you will need to get started, but also the things about, you know, spare batteries, you know, power banks, you know, all the things that Pete explained with the gear side of it. But I was explaining the legal side of it and wrapping your head around it, you know, that sort of stuff.
All the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. There's too much bullshit going on, and it's just egos, and I blame social media for that and the internet. It all started when the internet came along. So social media has kind of taken away a lot of that honesty and genuine, you know, and, you know, compassion and the caring. I guess everybody wants to be the next Zach Bagans. Everyone wants to be rich, and everyone wants to be the next sort of internet superstar, you know. But it's the way it is, and we have to sort of go with it, I guess. And not just keep yourself honest. I mean, we tell people straight up that whenever we're doing presentations and talks and lectures and whatever, I always tell people straight up that I've been doing this for, you know, many years, many decades, and I still have no idea what ghosts are, and I'm learning as I go. I'm going to bumble around in the dark quite a bit, but I'm learning with each investigation, and I don't have all the answers. And I tell them straight up, you know, what I'm telling you tonight, I don't expect you to believe. I expect you to go home and just check on it, do some reading, research for yourself. I'm only going by what I've experienced myself as an investigator. So
definitely.
And okay, so you guys, in all the time you've been doing this, I mean, there are a lot of theories about what ghosts are, from, you know, residual to intelligent to interdimensional beings to aliens to deceased relatives and all that kind of thing. Has there been anything that you've experienced that has basically confirmed any of those theories to you of what a ghost might be? Do any of those theories make sense to you?
Yeah. Look, for me, the thing that's just made it click in my head was we did up at Yandina, the museum up there. Now, we were in doing an EVP in a jail cell, and there was a couple of us there. There was Dan and a lady by the name of Mia. Now, this is the first time it's ever happened to me, and like for me, I'm a firm believer that spirits, ghosts are energies. Now, when we were in this little cell, because it's an old jail cell, we were in this cell and I started to feel queasy, lightheaded, and dizzy. And I'm really good with small spaces, so that wasn't the thing. But I actually had to leave the EVP session to catch my breath and ground myself. And for me, that was the first time ever that I thought, hang on, I think spirits are energies for me, you know, like, and it really just blew my mind. So for me personally, I think spirits are energies that can affect us and manipulate things around them.
Yeah, it does kind of make sense at this stage.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I personally haven't got anything that I can really add to that. I'm still on a fence line with all this sort of thing, with that side of that, with that question. You know, I came into this whole thing looking for the answer of what's after death. You know, is there life after death? You know, all of the proof of that. I personally haven't, with my own eyes, seen an apparition. I haven't. I think I definitely have felt them, but I haven't seen one. So I'm still coming to my own conclusion with that answer. So I can't comment really 100% with that. So yeah, but I definitely agree with Pete. They're definitely an energy, and they definitely feed off energy, because I think that's what they are. They're just energy that feeds off other energy, and energy doesn't die. It just gets just moves to somewhere else. You know.
Redistributed.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Thanks, mate. Redistributed. Yeah. So, you know, once again, we're not professionals. We don't have the answer. All I can say is that I agree with Pete, and I'm still working on that answer. So yeah.
All right, that's about the same as how I feel at the moment. Okay, what are your thoughts on the way the media portrays the paranormal? Help or hindrance?
Well, I think the interaction that we've had with the media, because we've obviously doing podcasts with Zinc FM and getting editorials in the Sunshine Coast Daily and the Nambour Weekly, has been really helpful for us. They've come in really wanting to experience this with us on investigations and stuff like that, and it's been really good. And the feedback has been very positive, I think, with us. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, it's been very positive. I mean, look, the media itself, not with us. I mean, I agree with what Pete said. I agree with that side of it. With us, it's all been good. But I think the media out there can tend to reflect their skepticism, whatever the word is I'm looking for, too much into the media. Like they'll the Ghostbusters, you know, that sort of thing. You know, it's like, I think now you just taking the mickey. You know, I don't know. I think some of the media out there is negative, some of it is good, some of it sits on the fence. But yeah, I think a lot of the media out there tends to take the mickey out of this industry a lot. You know? Yeah.
Well, they're after ratings. Ratings equals money, doesn't it? So
yeah,
that's what their agenda is. So famous hauntings and ghosts through history. Is there one case that you would just love to take on if you could? Anywhere in the world?
Me personally, Winchester House. I would love to get into that place and just spend a night there. I think that place is phenomenal, and the history behind it with the Winchester Company and how it's all been put together and the house she built, absolutely phenomenal. I'd love to get in there. I think that'd be amazing.
And it's not just her. It's not just her husband and the entities that she was dealing with. It's herself as well now. Like she's passed on herself, Mrs. Winchester. So, you know, there's an extra entity there that you could, investigate as well. So I'd have to say that, yes, definitely. And for me, I don't know. I like the old castles. I really like the old ancient castles and stuff like that. You know, I think there's a lot of history in there, and I don't really have a particular, story or place that I would really like to investigate. It's just a lot that I would really like to do. But yeah, Winchester would definitely be one. Definitely at the top. Yeah.
Another thing that I'd like to really have a look at is Japanese ghosts. I think the history behind them, some of their hauntings in Japan, absolutely phenomenal. You know, that's one place I'd love to go and have a look, is go into Japan, especially with the forest at the base of Mount Fuji.
Yes.
I
the
think
suicide
that would
forest.
be a
Suicide
forest,
forest,
forest to get into and actually do a proper investigation, not to be a show pony or anything like that, but to get in there and do an investigation to see if what spirits are there and how it affects how you feel there.
Yeah.
And that's one thing with us too, is we try and hold a lot of respect. Something like that, you'd have to hold a lot of respect, and that's like, you know, Pete and I always hold respect for anywhere we go, especially cemeteries. We've always got a lot of respect there. And yeah, if we were to do somewhere like Suicide Forest, yeah, it's one of those ones that you definitely have to hold a lot of respect and do it right, you know, do it properly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cool. Preferred late night investigation snacks?
Snacks.
What's your go-to snack for investigations?
Well, for me, it's definitely not dim sims. Hey, Pete.
No, actually, you're more to the point, chicken tenders.
Oh,
Don't
chicken
ever have
tenders.
chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders, sorry, not dim sims. Chicken tenders. See, I haven't even got it right. Yeah, Pete and I went for our first investigation with RJ Cox, and when we met up with them at this service station out their way, and I hadn't had dinner, so I went into the servo and I grabbed a couple of chicken tenders out of the Bay Marie, and yeah, with lo and behold, about 2 hours later, they hit me, and they hit me really, really hard, didn't they? Yeah, I was to the point where I actually thought that to me, I didn't know what it was. I wasn't even thinking of food poisoning, but I was thinking, oh God, you know, like some entities grabbed onto me or something. You know, I started thinking all the worst. You know? Started going out of my mind, you know. But
okay.
Yeah, but no, it was just the chicken tenders, and I had food poisoning.
And coffee or energy drinks?
Yeah, for me, love coffee. Coffee. I've got to get so much coffee, it's ridiculous. But trying to change the way I'm eating, I'm going all healthy and stuff like before. The healthy lifestyle that I've chosen now, it was a packet of chips and a Coke. Yeah, but now it's more like carrots, sticks, and sparkling water.
Sweet. Sounds good. All right. Well, I think we've got the end of it now. I think it's... You know, I'll put a link to you guys at the end of all this video, and we should definitely talk more and do a follow-up one. And I'm definitely keen to come over. Okay. So I'll be calling you up.
You're welcome.
And I'll be expecting big things and lots of paranormal activity.
So, Testing Theatre would be a brilliant one for you, and the Peachester Cemetery would be great for you to come in and have a look at. Cool.
Yeah. I usually bring a lot of gear with me, so I hate to think I'm going to be travelling around the world with a bag full of gear and no investigations. Because you get funny looks going through customs, you know, when you've got a bag full of gadgets.
Well, we haven't done it yet. Do they look at you pretty weirdly? Or what?
They do. Especially if there's some of these custom-made gadgets that are built, like little field generators and little things that look like boxes with an aerial sticking out with one little button, you know, and a flashy light. To them, that's a bomb detonator. You know,
what's this?
Ghost hunting equipment. Okay, guys. All right, then. Good to talk to you. We'll catch up later and talk soon. And stay in touch, okay? Thanks a lot for talking to me. And hope it all goes well. I'm enjoying your shows so far. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
We appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later. Stay safe.
Take care.
Bye.